we find most of our investors like to have some combination of the two, having some allocation to physical as kind of your cornerstone position, and then having some of the miners for more of the upside potential and operating leverage that they typically provide.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me today is Sprott Asset Management CEO, John Ciampaglia. John, very good to speak with you. We're talking about the new Sprott Physical Uranium ETC. What does this new ETC offer investors and what makes it unique?
Yeah, well, this really is an extension of the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, which is coming up to its four-year anniversary in July, and it's our flagship uranium product that trades on the Toronto Stock Exchange, which has been incredibly popular with investors around the globe. And one of the gaps in the market we identified is that certain non-institutional investors in Europe, just could not access the uranium trust on the Toronto Stock Exchange for various reasons. So we thought that through our partnership with HAN ETF, wrapping this trust in an ETC would make the fund more accessible to European investors at a time when I think the world is pivoting back to nuclear energy, and uranium obviously has a very key role to play in that story.
I was going to ask about that, John. Why is uranium an exciting investment opportunity right now?
Yeah, well, I think it's really been building over the last 3 or 4 years as the world has really shifted in just about every instance back to nuclear energy after largely ignoring it for the last 20 or 30 years. And the reasons are pretty simple. It provides baseload power, which means it provides power that can be on 24/7. It is not intermittent, and it really kind of underpins the grid. And then, in the last few years, sadly, the world has had a real wake-up call with respect to energy security. And nuclear fuel is the most dense energy in the world, which means you can produce enormous amounts of clean energy from it with very little volume of actual fuel. And obviously, the last point about clean energy is that nuclear energy produces no greenhouse gases. So it also helps countries to decarbonize their economies.
John, what should investors consider when determining between physical uranium and uranium miners?
Yeah, it's a really, I would say, individual choice with respect to how do I want to play this uranium thematic. There are really only two ways to play it. You can invest in the physical commodity itself, which is very popular, or you can basically go into some of the mining stocks that are producing uranium or trying to develop a new uranium mine. And then there are obviously earlier stage companies that are still in exploration phase. They obviously have very different risk attributes. Uranium mining stocks tend to be more volatile in nature. Many of these companies tend to be smaller cap. So it's really a personal choice in terms of how much risk appetite you are willing to take on. We find most of our investors like to have some combination of the two, having some allocation to physical as kind of your cornerstone position, and then having some of the miners for more of the upside potential and operating leverage that they typically provide.
John, congratulations again on that launch of that new ETC. I'm sure we'll be chatting about it in the future.
Yeah, thanks very much. We're very excited about bringing it to Europe.
Sprott Asset Management CEO, John Ciampaglia.